All right, folks, welcome to Mike the Worker channel. Today we're going to put up some cabinet knobs. So we're going to install these right about there and here. We got 4 of them to put up. First thing we have to do is cut the screw. You notice the screw, they give you extra long. So the best thing to do is just make sure you put your knob in here. And then the thing you want to do is see how much take-up space you have. And based on that take-up space is where you need to cut. So we're going to cut right here because it takes up 2 of these slots. You can see they have slots, so we have a magic marker marked there. So we're going to cut the 4 bolts first before we do anything. So let's go ahead and start doing that. And what I use is a grinder to cut that off, cutting wheel I should say. And I'm going to do that outside because it does generate sparks. There's a lot of sawdust in here, so I don't want to risk a fire. So basically just cut it where you marked it. And that's it. We'll go do that right now. All right, so we determined for our first 2 knobs are going to go right about here. And what I'm looking at is just a spacing to make sure that the knobs are not going to hit each other whenever we open the cabinet. And that looks good. I like where that sits. So we're going to do a center to center across this whole thing from this style right here and go into dead center. So we have a center to center tool for that. But first, what we want to do now is, since we're going to be drilling this, we don't want to take out any wood that we don't want to take out. And so the wood prevents chip out, or the tape prevents take out, I should say, not the wood, the tape. So make sure we have the tape there. And then we're going to do a center to center mark. So the good thing about using the center to center gauge is you start with 0 and you just make sure you have the same on each side. So it'll tell you the 0 is dead center line. So let's look at this style. And it looks like we got about 1 inch on each side. Almost 1 inch. So that's our center mark. And then what we're going to do, we'll use a laser. And a laser is the best thing you can ever buy. Use it for multiple things, hanging pictures, all kinds of things. So this is the model that I use. It's the Bosch one. Served me well. So let's put that on, just at the height. All right, so we got to go up a little bit more. Wait for the shaking to stop. All right, so that's our center to center right there. So that's good. All right, so after you figure where you want it, center to center, top to bottom, you want to figure in how much you want to go in. So I go in about 1 inch. So that will set me right about there, right? And I look, and I notice I got enough spacing for the 2 knobs. So I go ahead and just use my machinist square. That's how much I'm going to go in. And since we have it open, look at that, I like the shelves, right? So this is going to be a Murphy table. So the table's going to come down and have a couple legs, just, you know, extra dining space because it's kind of a small apartment. So I think that will look good. You can put your hot sauce, ketchup, mustard, whatever you want up there. So that's kind of cool. So let's go ahead and drill this out. So you want to make sure that your drill is at least the same size as the thread on the bolt that you'll be using. And we're going to make sure that we hit our marks, right, using the laser. And then secondly, just make sure there's nothing behind it that you're going to drill into. And what you want to do is just drill this as straight as you can. If you're a little off, that's okay, but you want to get it straight. You notice I wiggle it around a little bit just to make sure I open it up enough for the threads. All right, so that's pretty much on the same line. So next thing we want to do is just remove the tape. And notice it didn't take any wood out, which is good. And it's just a matter of putting your bolt through. And since it's the same size, you're going to have to use a screwdriver for that. And the first one's always your test to see if you cut it to the right length or not. So we'll do this one first and see how it looks. And you don't want to pound it in like that because then you're going to fray up some of that wood. So it helps if you have an electric drill to do this, which we will get. All right, this should go a little faster. All right, now let's see if we measured everything correctly. Sometimes it takes a little while to get in because you kind of throw the threads off when you cut it. So it's got to find the groove, which we just did. And look at that, perfect. So now, let's tighten it up with a screwdriver. Make sure it seats real well, which it does. And there you go. There's your first one. All right, simple. If I can do it, anybody can do it. All right, doesn't that look a whole lot better? Pretty good. All right, so now we'll go on the bottom one. And it's kind of the same procedure. The bottom one, we will probably move the knobs down a little bit because up here it looks a little weird. So maybe right about there, we'll put the bottom ones. So over there you got enough room for your fingers. So if we put it right in the middle there, it's kind of weird how your fingers go in there. So we'll probably put it in the bottom of the stile, across, right? The same distance as we had that one. So we'll move our laser down and get center to center. We're actually on the bottom of this stile. That'll be our mark where we want it to land. I'm going to adjust it up. There you go. So then we'll do the same thing. We'll tape the doors. You notice here we need to be a little bit careful because we do have a shelf that almost is at the height of where we're drilling, but we'll be careful not to get that. Then we use our machinist square. We're going to use the same in and out distance that we had, right? Because we locked that in place. Do the same here. And most importantly, before we start drilling, we'll take a look at the position and see if that's what we want. It looks better than way up here. So we'll put it there. That looks good. All right, so now it's just a matter of drilling our holes. Making sure I'm on the laser line. There's one. There's two, and sometimes I just have to lean to get out of the laser path. There's our holes drilled. And just put the bolts in. Insert our knob. Snug it in place. Do our other side. Put our knob in. Okay, folks, so there you go. It's a little scary at first, you know, because you're drilling through your nice new cabinets or the cabinets that you made. But as you can see, it can be done. And we did it. It's pretty simple, as you can see. Not a lot of steps, just a couple things you have to follow, like the tape, the laser line, how much you want to go in and out, things of that nature. But it does look very nice. I'm very happy. And thank you for watching. Take care.